Welcome to Business 301, Business Analytics. This is Professor Dean, and I will be guiding you through the course this semester. So what I thought I would do is start off with just a brief introduction of what the course is, and then also look at the navigation within Blackboard. So what is business analytics? Simply put, analytics is just the scientific process of transforming data into insights for making better decisions. So in essence, what we're going to do is look at data and try to use that data to make decisions. So we're going to often do this in the form of business problems, sometimes things like in operational settings with machines and people, sometimes in the service sector, sometimes in the finance or accounting sector, sometimes in the marketing sector. But in all instances, we're going to use data to try to drive our decisions. So let's get into the navigation of this a little bit. So in Blackboard, when you log in, you'll see something similar to this. I have my student preview mode on, so this is kind of what you see. I'm assuming you're familiar with Blackboard, so I'm not going to go over a whole bunch of that. Homepage, announcements, where should I start? Over here, how about start here, syllabus? So if I click on this, there are three things in this folder. There's the syllabus, which you should read very, very closely. The course expectations, which you should also read very, very closely. And then information about the textbook. We're using a custom textbook. This is because every textbook that I looked at for this course, the material and stuff that we're covering, isn't covered all that well in other textbooks that are out there, and the ones that there are, it cost about $200. So this is a much cheaper alternative for you. I'm publishing the book through LeanPub. That is a Canadian company. You might have to, when you try to purchase it with a credit card, you might have to tell your bank that. Some students have had that issue in the past. They got it resolved pretty easily. So let's then go down at materials. Here's where all the materials are going to show up. We'll start with Unit 0. We'll start counting at 0. Preliminaries. And in here, there's a basics of Excel document that you should read. I'll be adding other stuff as the course goes along. And then let's go back to the syllabus and open up the syllabus. So here the syllabus is, so here's my contact information, expected email response time, 48 hours. You have prereqs that you should have already taken and passed. And then course description, learning goals, all this stuff about overview and navigation, the custom book. And then here's how you're going to be graded. There are 6 quizzes total. We're taking the best 5 out of 6 because every now and then someone has to miss a quiz. There are 5 total Excel assignments. I'm going to take the best 4 out of 5 to come up with that, and that counts 20%. 3 exams, the exam 1, exam 2, and final exam, each of them worth 20%. And please note that under no conditions will any items be accepted late in this class. Here's the add drop thing that I scraped from Main Street. All this other stuff is kind of boilerplate stuff. Student responsibilities, remember there's a firm due date for everything. I don't take anything late. It's an online class, there's no attendance. This is a little, probably a bit different kind of class than what you've ever had before, where I'm actually going to expect you to do something. We will be using Microsoft Excel extensively and heavily in this course, both for the exams and for the assignments. The quizzes, not so much. And what I'm going to do is for the quizzes, you're going to be allowed to take them twice with the higher grade counting. And then down here for the 10% for the project idea, maybe I'll do a different video at some point for that. It's 10% of your grade. Read through that closely. Here's a bunch of resources for you. And again, we're heavily use Microsoft Excel 2016, which as a USM student you have access to. You just have to sign up and download it and install it on your machines. And then here's the course outline. Right, we have preliminaries, and then there are 3 broad areas within business analytics that we will be covering. The first is descriptive analytics, and we're breaking that into two parts: descriptive statistics, so a bunch of numbers, and then visualizations, which is a bunch of pictures and plots and graphs. Then we move on to the second part of business analytics, which is predictive. And we're going to focus on linear regression and time series analysis and forecasting. There are other predictive analytics out there. Those are the ones just that we're going to focus on. And then the third major area of business analytics is prescriptive, where we're prescribing something. And we're going to focus on linear optimization and integer linear optimization. And then notice throughout here I give when the quizzes are due and when the exams are and all that fun stuff. All right. Also, you should note the modified date at the bottom of the syllabus always ensures that that's the most up-to-date. So whatever's on Blackboard is the most up-to-date syllabus. All right, so let's go back here. There's also a course expectations document. So this is an online course. It's asynchronous, meaning we don't have to be together at the same time at any point throughout the course, but it is not self-paced. That means that there are due dates. The due dates are firm. Also, you should expect to set aside at least 9 hours a week dedicated solely for this course. That's a normal 3 credit hour course. That's what you should be doing. That's 3 hours in the classroom, 6 hours outside the classroom, because you're not in the classroom in this online course. You should dedicate all 9 hours to studying for the course. Communication, please read this very carefully. Please use something like this for the subject heading so that I know that you're in the online section and I can try to get back to you quick. And then everything is individual endeavors in this course. Software, there's some stuff talking about software, the course topics, and the exams. So the exams will be administered on Blackboard. You'll have a 12-hour window on those dates that are listed in the syllabus. You can save it, go back into it, do all that fun stuff. It should not take you 12 hours. It should only take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to do an exam. If you sit there and work all the way through it, I understand that sometimes that's not possible. Also, sometimes you need to let stuff soak into your brain a little bit, so that's why I give an entire 12-hour window for you to do that. Okay. So let's look at under quizzes. So here's an example of the quiz. I have quiz 1 out there already. It tests your knowledge of the material covered in Unit 0, the preliminaries, Excel stuff. Unit 1, descriptive statistics. It's due on Wednesday, February 1st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time according to Blackboard's clock. So you got to make sure your clock is set to Blackboard's. It's untimed, and you can take the quiz twice, with the highest one being added for that. So when you go into it, it will tell you the instructions, all that stuff, and you begin it, and it gives you a bunch of questions. I think there's about, most of the time it's between 5 and 10 questions per quiz. The first one is five questions. And then again, under materials, I'll add the stuff as we go. For Excel assignments, it'll show up under here underneath quizzes whenever I put one out there. And then same thing with the exams. There'll be a link over here for the exams. Under discussions, I don't require discussion boards in this class. I have a general Q&A in case people want to ask other students. Someone might get back to you faster than me because I do have many other things that I'm doing. So I'm not going to be on all the time. I can't be. I have other classes I'm teaching, other stuff like that. So if you post a question here, hopefully another student can answer your question, hopefully correctly also. And so that's kind of the navigation of the course within Blackboard. If I exit this, yes. And if I turn my edit mode on, you'll see that I have Excel assignments and exams here. So that when I put stuff in there, it'll show up to you. Right. So I think that covers pretty much everything we need for right now. For what the class is about, how to navigate around on Blackboard. And again, please carefully read the syllabus, carefully read this expectations document. so that you know what's expected of you for this course. And then our next video will be talking hopefully about some actual material in the course.